Candy here once again. I am sort of on a roll today, so I've got all kinds of like different things to share with you. Today, I want to actually talk a little bit about why the power of quitting is so important. I gotta tell you, I am such a quitter. And back in the day, I would have told you that that is not something I would have said out loud. I would have been mortified to say I didn't quit anything, right? When I said yes to something, when I committed, I would push through, even when everything would show up in my body, in my heart, in my soul that was just like, why am I doing this? Ugh, right? And here's the thing, and I will tell you, first of all, and I've mentioned this before, I'm a manifesting generator. So first, I need to give myself permission in every aspect to pivot. Like, I am here to try things on, not see things to completion, dance in some stuff. And like, when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. And so being able to give myself that permission over the years has been so empowering. I can't even begin to tell you. And so I say that because we have such a stigma in this culture right now around how quitting is bad. And I'm going to tell you, quitting is not bad at all. Quitting is actually quite genius. And quitting in the right ways, especially when the resounding hell no is showing up, is one of the most courageous, most amazing things you can do from a place of love and leadership. And I'm going to show you why. So here's the thing. I'm a quitter. I quit corporate. I had 20 years of corporate. I was climbing the corporate ladder rather rapidly. I've had all kinds of various leadership positions. I either was on people's, growth and next generation of leaders list, or I was on people's, oh my God, she's rocking the boat, stirring shit up, and made a lot of people nervous. So, kind of like what I do in my normal life. You're either in Camp Candy or you're not, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I will channel my beloved late great mentor, Betty White, who said, someone's opinion of you is none of your damn opinion, none of your damn business. And I absolutely 1000% agree with that. I realize, look, you're either for me or you're not. Either way, none of my business. I'm also really clear that I make it easy for people. You're either in Camp Candy or you're not, and that's fine. And I still love you and want the best for you. I'm just not going to love on you and give you my energy, time, resources, and attention. What always is interesting is when someone says, I don't know how I feel about Candy. That says more about them than it does me, because I make it pretty clear. Look, it's either your space or it's not. And I can't decide that for you. And I think we need to get away from this space of people pleasing. We get into this space where we're like, why don't they like me? Right. And so I'll give you an analogy. I use this a lot in my workshops, and I talk about, because in fact, I even have t-shirts that I made once that said Camp Candy, Island of Misfit Toys. Then it said destroy the noise in the back. It was awesome. And shout out to Roxanne Street for putting those t-shirts together for me. I absolutely love them. So anyway, it came out in a conversation I was having in one of my workshops when I was trying to delineate how we get caught up in this space of people pleasing and wanting everyone to like us, and how we need to learn how to quit putting attention, time, energy, money, resources, attention into things that are not for us. And we have got to understand that not everything on this planet, not everything in this world is for us, and that's okay. You're not here for everybody. You are here for a certain group of people that have an energetic alignment and match to your frequency, period. It is really that simple, and we need to stop worrying about those that are not for us. We spend so much energy and time worrying about other people, worrying about why they don't like us, worrying about why they don't want to be in our camp. And so I was telling, I do, like I said, I do this a lot in my workshops. I was talking about how there's Camp Candy, and then there's what I'll call this other island called Camp Content. Now, there's nothing wrong with Camp Content. Camp Content is, well, content. It's a very nice, peaceful, it is, right? It's not anything too exciting, and nothing rocks the boat. It's comfortable. And for some people, that's totally their jam. Mwah, more power to them. And so I will say that I will be in my Camp Candy, again, the Island of Misfit Toys, if you ever saw Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And in my opinion, one of the greatest places on earth. It's rocking. We're weird. We like to do our own thing. We stir shit up. We're tree shakers. We're catalyzers. We're rule benders, time benders, you name it. That's Camp Candy. Now, there are some people that are always have wanted to be in Camp Candy and are like, I'm here. Let's play. Let's rock this. There are people that look over from Camp Content and go, that is a whole batshit crazy, that's a hot mess. Great. There's some people that are curious. And so I've always said that if there's camp candy and there's camp content, there's this bridge in between. And the bridge is always open. The bridge always has an invitation that says, for those that want to come see what's going on, you are welcome. We welcome all. It's highly inclusive. And I will go even as far as halfway on the bridge and extend my hand and say, would you like to join us? I will not, however, go fully across the bridge and drag your ass across. Because what happens is we all have our own camp. Call it Camp Steve, Camp Bob, Camp Michelle, Camp, whatever it is. You have your own camp. Instead of, though, loving on those people that are already in your camp, that are raising their hand, they're yes, I'm with you. Let's do this. I don't even care what it is. I have people that are like, Candy, I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm in. They're my people. Well, what happens is we stand in our camp or we go across this bridge and we try to pull them across, and we keep saying, why don't you want to play with me? How come you don't like me? How come you don't want to be over here? And we spend all this time, money, energy, resources, attention on something that's not even designed for us, when we have people that right now are ready to activate stuff with us. And so I say that because we've got to know when to quit, and to quit being in environments that are fucking toxic, to quit being in environments that are draining our soul, to quit being in environments where we have to play a chameleon and keep pulling out a different mask every time we show up with someone because we're trying to be who we think they want us to be. We got to quit that shit. We got to stand in a space that says, look, this is who I am. Love it or don't. I am here on this earth at this point, in this moment, right now, with purpose, with meaning, for a calling to bring my gifts into the world, to shine my light for those I serve. And again, it is not for everyone. So that when we stand in this space, when we can activate the truth of who we are, when we get aligned as fuck in that space, you're gonna hear me say that a lot. It's a whole new space that's opening up, is how do we drop in and become aligned as fuck in who we are? Not with all the bullshit. How do we let go and destroy the noise, right? All that negative self-talk and filtering and beliefs and stuff we put all over ourselves, the opinions of others we choose to internalize, that whole people pleasing, what if they don't like me? I don't care. The inefficiencies that we are creating because we're caught up in saying yes to the wrong things and not saying no to the right ones, and not quitting the bullshit of what we keep buying into. The S, which is the shoulding and shaming we do all over ourselves, and the E, which is the excuses that we keep creating based out of fear and anxiety and stress and people pleasing and judgment and criticism and anything else, right? So the only way we can effectively destroy that noise is to redirect where we're giving our attention and our energy. So it's quitting the things that make us feel like our nervous system's on the outside, the things that are draining and burning out our adrenals, the things that make us tired, exhausted, that we keep going, I have to, I got to, and we feel so obligated to. We weren't put on this earth to be living in a space where we are constantly suffering in this place of obligation. We were put on this earth to experience the power of choice in the place of possibilities and opportunities. So that when you can dial in and drop into what lights you up, that when you can sit here and say, that feels fulfilling, that's a fuck yes, like, you know it, your body is expansive, it drops in, like everything just goes, oh, it's actually not even a real word, right? It's that gutter, oh yes, oh, right? Versus that no, it's that space of where you feel expansive versus where you're creating space to feel contracted and put yourself in this box, this container, this cage. And I say that because we have the opportunity to understand the difference. The difference being getting really aligned as fuck in your body, getting into a space where you can say, I'm going to quit everything that's not aligned in this space. And so giving yourself permission to quit. I quit. I had a relationship or a collaboration that I was in the beginning of this year. And while it was a yes when I started, somewhere through the process, it became a resounding hell no. And I quit. And I quit with peace. I quit in integrity for me. I quit in alignment with my truth that was coming through. And as a result, I've had my most abundant season to date. And my most abundant season coming through a time where I took a necessary, unprecedented, unplanned sabbatical, which has taken me sort of out the last 2 months. So I say that because when we quit, the right things show up. It's kind of like when you purge your closet and you're holding on to like those jeans you're never going to fit back into, or the jeans that were dated from the 80s that shouldn't come back into style. When you keep holding on to the old, when you keep holding on to what's comfortable, some of that's the people pleasing. Sometimes our suffering is more comfortable than the change of actually allowing ourselves the freedom to stop suffering, because suffering is something we choose to do. And I know for some of you that might trigger you when you're like, I don't choose to suffer. Yeah, you do. You choose because you're buying into old matrix beliefs. You're buying into bullshit programming. You're buying into the shit you constantly tell yourself, and you're not aligned as fuck in who you are. And so when you do that, you create thoughts, beliefs, words, actions that continue to bring more suffering to you, versus deciding and choosing a different space. I walked into this year not even recognizing the power of this phrase. And through the sabbatical that I just came through, it's starting to resonate very clearly why this, when everybody's like, what's your word figure? I didn't have a word, I had a phrase. And it is, I am no longer available for fill in the blank. I will tell you, it has gotten very clear why that showed up for me. That in order to quit, I have gotten very clear on what I'm available for, and more importantly, what I no longer am available for. So I want you to think about, what are you no longer available for? Think about it. What are you tolerating in your life? What is it you really want? And here's the thing, we need to get really fucking honest with ourselves, because we have spent too much time saying, well, that's good enough. That's too much. That's selfish of me. We need to get a little selfish. Selfish being, I need to honor the fact that if I desire this, if it's a true desire for me, then I trust that the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever you choose to call it, is going to provide everything I need for it. I wasn't given these desires simply to be told, oh, Candy, that's cute. That's not for you. I don't believe that. Do you really believe that however we were created, whatever your belief is, for me, I'm going to call it God, source, universe, Tao, Penelope. I don't care what you call it. But wherever that source is that you came from, that higher consciousness, that creator of all creation, do you really believe that you were put here to suffer at all costs? That no matter what, you have these desires, these dreams, these things that light your soul on fire, only to be told, oh, you're cute. That's not for you. That's fucking bullshit. That is the biggest bunch of crap we tell ourselves. Do you really believe that if you're feeling it here in your soul, in your core, in your everything, that you weren't meant to have it? You weren't meant to have it simply because you can dream it, because you can see it. The opportunity and your job is to lean into that, is to feel it, and to trust and have faith that you will be provided for, simply because I am just because. You don't need to validate anything. You don't need anyone else's external opinion, validation, judgment, approval, whatever. You get to just because. And when we recognize that we are more than enough, we are so fucking more than enough, I can't even begin to tell you. And this has been my life journey the last 49 years, is finally understanding the truth of that statement, like embodying that to my core. That says, I know. And I think about Lisa Nichols in the Secret, where she's like, I know. You gotta, like, you get to a plate where you're like, I know, like I know, like I know, like I know, like you know, just because, like you are just because. And when you quit everybody else's bullshit, when you quit letting yourself be criticized by people that are behind you, people that are stuck in fear, people are still playing victim, and you allow yourself to rise, you allow yourself to drop into a space to be so aligned, to be aligned as fuck on all levels, that you know your truth, that you recalibrate your compass to due north, and due north is everything inside of you, then you can truly say yes to yourself. Then you can feel empowered. And I want to play in that space with you. I want to play in the space of those that know and are feeling the calling of that. I know, like I know, like I know that there is more to this life than this bullshit we keep buying into. That I know, that I know, that I know, like I know I am enough just because I am more than fucking enough. And I quit being available for anything less than that. I no longer am available to play small in any fucking aspect of my life, period. I am no longer available to be anything less than to be fully in integrity in the fullness of who I am, period. I am no longer available for anything other than my truth, period. With that, I love all of you. Mwah. Your turn to figure out what you are no longer available for. As things are showing up, I would love to hear from you. Drop in the comments. By the way, like this channel if you want to hear more. We're about to get some things lit up, and I'm going to do a lot of conversation around how we get aligned as fuck. So if you want to be in this conversation, if you want to stay current with the videos I'm posting, please make sure you hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And with that, just know, mwah, I love you huge. I love you big. Now is the time. It is time to fucking say yes to yourself, to get aligned as fuck, and to step into a place that says, I know, like I know, like I know. I'll catch up with you guys later.